Thank you very much. I would like to invite on the stage Mr. Kostas Stathopoulos and Mr. Mitropoulos from EY to move to the next part of our presentation.
Hello from my side, and thank you for being here. I'm really happy and honored to be in front of such a great audience. We're all devastated by the major catastrophe that is taking place now in Greece. I hope everybody's families, friends, relatives is safe and that things get normalized soon. But apart from that, let's get to something that we like and love, like the Treasury and all the nice discussion that we've been having this day. So I'm Kostas Stathopoulos. I'm a partner in EY. I'm in the consulting practice, leading the finance consulting services. I'm around 20 years in the professional services field, having also an experience having worked in the treasury of a multinational entity. And throughout my career, I've been doing several things around treasury. So it's really all the discussions we're having are. I'm really enthusiastic about the event. I would like also to thank Alexandros and the board and the association for arranging this great event and being able to mingle here with all those nice people and see all good friends and colleagues. The purpose of what we have prepared is to discuss and explore how the traditional role of the treasurer has transformed and is being transformed in this environment to meet the demands of a modern financial environments. And we'll start with the basics. So on what is the role of the treasury? Obviously, we don't know your work better than you do, but I would like to start from somewhere to try to get to where we want to. So the treasurer has a very vital role and a very central role in all organizations. I think on a day-by-day basis, I would say that the things that the treasury people have to do are increasing. We heard about the ESG, about the volatility, about everything is becoming more complex and sophisticated. So starting from liquidity management, from exposure and risk management, balance sheet optimization, finance and reporting, regulation, investments, funding, all these are things that a treasurer should be able and their team should be able to do. But it's not only that. If we see the people element and the communication element in this, it's not just about the skills and the sophistication that they have, but the treasurer is at the heart. The treasurer is the heart of the organizations, meaning that they need to be able to communicate with several other stakeholders, both internal and external, which I think it's a very big attribute and a very big responsibility, like banks, investors, vendors, consultants, but also with the other departments, the CFO, CEO, strategy. We see that how more strategic the position of the treasurer is becoming. So having said that, we see some trends that are affecting and are influencing the treasury and what a treasurer would be doing in the years to come. So we see a lot of tendency for centralization and automation. Technology is at the heart of most of the things that we've been listening to. Funding is becoming more sophisticated. We see more complex structure. Everybody's trying to be more efficient in doing that. Disruptive technologies. Technology through RPA or artificial intelligence will impact the business and are a necessity in terms of having more accurate data and increasing the effectiveness of technology. The need to have real-time cash visibility and to be able to have more accurate forecasting for working capital purposes, but also for hedging purposes, as we discussed right in the previous panel. Market volatility will always be there for the treasurers, I guess, but we had this, the previous panel discussing about the hedging activities and all. I think it was quite interesting. I think we would be having a very different discussion 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, on how the hedging strategy would be implemented and what it meant back then. And also, there is a lot of scrutiny and need for more financial transparency. We discussed about ESG also, and its and the new requirements, but it's not only that. It's also about the proper risk management, the operational risk management, the proper controls that we have. So we believe that all those things are now affecting and will be affecting in the years to come the treasury function. Therefore, having discussed the role, what is now affecting the role of Treasury, we believe that this slide somehow summarizes the priorities that we see that exist in the Treasuries. So first, I would say by a redesign of the traditional operating model. We talked about centralization, different responsibilities, reduction of manual processes, increase of efficiency, and investing in the people, doing more sophisticated stuff rather than boring, repetitive work. And this is not only part of the Treasury. I recall a discussion from a CFO of a global bank in an EY event, where he was saying that we cannot have like 100 chartered accountants doing reconciliation. So it's not only a problem that we see in Treasury, it's all over the place. And based on a survey that EY has conducted, it appears that 50% of Treasury professionals that participated would like to increase the efficiency of their Treasury function. Acceleration of digital transformation. So deployment of fintech or any tools like TMS or any other tools that will enable the Treasury function to become more efficient is one of the priorities that we see. However, we see here that there's like 2/3 of the people that participated in the survey, we will discuss about the survey results in detail later on, are a bit concerned about the costs of doing such investments. Then the collaboration with the business partners to drive performance. I think we briefly touched upon the need that the Treasury should have the skill to communicate with the outside world and the inside world. But why? What is this need now coming to? Everybody wants the Treasury to have a more predictive, a more proactive role, to be a proactive partner in the strategic decisions of an entity. And this relates to having appropriate data quickly, having one source of data, a single version of the truth. And like 41% of professionals, based on our study, they would like to improve their data analysis capabilities in the Treasury Department. Optimization of working capital. Again, we're talking about accuracy and cash flow forecasts. And it appears that in very few cases, we see that there is a very sophisticated and advanced methodology for cash flow forecasting. Interest rate hikes and FX volatility. I think the previous session covered it 100%, and I think we will see how much now required to be alert and to see hedging strategies and to have to be able to react on the macro, on the demographics, on the geopolitical things that are happening. And last but not least, of course, ESG. ESG is everywhere, so it's not just about being compliant, but it's a strategic issue that definitely affects Treasury, also on the regulatory scrutiny. So, how does transformation look like? What does the Treasury transformation entail? We see a redesign of the target operating model, standardization of processes, centralization of activities. In planning and forecasting, we see scenario planning in the business as usual processes, artificial intelligence tools to produce more automated and sophisticated results in order to do more advanced forecasting, data reporting and visualization, having a single data warehouse for Treasury, I would say, Treasury reporting database, harmonization of this of the Treasury data with the rest of the data of the operations, and also with the closing process for the financial statements, dashboarding for the treasurer and the Treasury people to be able to have access to data that looks nice and is easy to use, and they can definitely use it in decision-making process. Treasury management systems that would facilitate all of the above. Risk and analytics, going together with technology, I would say, and bank connectivity and payments. So trying to have visibility of the operations and the global operations. And automation of payments is also part of the whole transformative process of treasury function. We call the optimum maturity phase for a treasury to be the treasury 4.0. So starting from treasury 1.0, we would say that there is a more manual process, not so much automation. Going forward, with some investment, with more sophisticated cash pooling, we go to treasury 2.0. Where some initial significant cost savings can occur, also increasing the negotiating power that we have with the banks. Further investing with in-house bank approach, it increases operational efficiency, intercompany handling of intercompany flows, central hedging. All this would reduce also the operational risks of an entity because someone will have a greater visibility on the operations of the company. And the 4.0 where the benefits are at their highest. As you see, this involves the highest use of technology also. So it's not only people or processes, but the different technology, because it's at the highest level of centralization, standardization, and automation. And in terms of sophistication relating to very sophisticated risk management procedures, expansion of the funding part, and automation relating to RPAs, etc. I don't think that any presentation could avoid having some ESG element, although it has been discussed much better than me from the previous colleagues who are experts in this field. What I would like to emphasize, and not to be repetitive in terms of what was discussed before, is that ESG is embedded in the organization. ESG has a pervasive effect in all the functions of an organization. So it's not a matter of having an ESG sustainability function or people that know a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but rather to be able to formally introduce processes throughout the treasury function that would apply to all those, to all the areas that ESG affects. So risk management, sustainable financing, we discussed before, investment decisions on working capital, supply chain at the core of ESG, and also ESG compliance and reporting, because we have to look good also, not just be good. And if we disaggregate, if we dismantle the ESG, and we go on each of the letters on what it relates to for our kind of business. So the environmental part, funding and managing green projects effectively. So green initiatives, capital allocation, transparent disclosure in the financial reporting, monitoring of the projects, and being able to ensure compliance for those projects, and stakeholder engagement. Because investors, as you know better than me, they are very much interested into this. The social approach, so increasing the positive impact on the local communities, with the decisions that the companies make, sustainable impact, financial prudence, compliance, and for governance purposes, which is also extremely important, having an ethical governance and being able to monitor appropriately the risk-related issues, to have planning in an organization that incorporates the relevant requirements, and all. But I think I just wanted to emphasize on those that because it is not just having an ESG function, but it is just everywhere. So we talked about the treasury, the next steps for treasury, and where we see that the more advanced treasury is going to get to. So how does this look like, and what are the benefits of this? So all the development of going to Treasury 4.0 relates very, very heavily, as we said, on technology. So we see a lot of high degree of manual activities in the treasury process, cash flow forecast not being very reliable or not even in place, error-prone spreadsheets. I guess most of you or all of you would know that the Excel spreadsheet have a probability of like 90% to have at least an important error there. Of course, through the review process, etc., this is being reduced. But it can never replace a real system. Data, a huge problem for most companies. No real-time information. The system cannot support all the things that we want to do in terms of reporting, of monitoring, of being able to make decisions, or policy breaches that are not captured timely. And so, on the other side, using technology, we create transparency on cash and liquidity, we automate the processes, having all the benefits also on the people factor that we discussed, reducing operational and transactional costs, more predictive capabilities in terms of data and cash flow forecasting. We have a single holistic view of the financial risks of the company, and we ensure compliance requirements. And what would the environment look like in terms of treasury technology? We could discuss about next generation cloud architecture, where this would focus, it is definitely more flexible and scalable than the current situation, and with a heavy focus on data management, integration of the exposure into a single instance, and decreasing IT costs. Cash flow predictive analytics through AI, commodity pricing, or in general price prediction tools that can be used, optimization of borrowing decisions through that. Big data, all of them are a bit interconnected, okay? Big data, advanced analytics, we can have simulations for hedging strategy, valuation of more complex products because of the availability of the data that are required. Again, regulatory compliance in terms of what needs to be disclosed, so we have the data, they are accurate, we can disclose those. Cloud and software as a service, much greater flexibility, simplified connectivity, and less time-consuming and cost-consuming than the traditional implementations. Blockchain, whenever it can be used, it can definitely increase our security levels or make our transactions much faster and simpler. And RPA, in general, RPA can be used from low sophistication to very high sophistication items. Real-time visibility to cash balances, automated reconciliations, automated tasks and validations, automated generation of reports whenever these are needed. So if one would self-assess where we stand as a treasury function, we believe that these are some of the questions that could be asked. So, do you have a strategic plan for treasury technology? Is the current technology we have sufficient to support the future growth of the company, and what comes next in an efficient manner? If we have an adequate control environment, do our controls work properly, and is our technology able to capture everything based on the increasingly demanding regulatory environment? Are we using efficiently all the treasury tools that are out there, from cash pooling or shared services, in-house bank payment factories, centralization and all, to improve the capacity and the scalability of our treasury business? Number 5 for me is extremely important, and we've seen it in practice. Is our treasury function ready to support the company by evaluating and planning and participating in very significant transactions like mergers, acquisitions, divestitures, spin-offs, or IPOs? And how do we monitor and manage and report the total exposure that we have in our risks? And finally, is everything we do regulatory compliant? Have we self-assessed ourselves if what we do is in accordance with what the regulation says? Indicative questions, obviously, it would be much more. So for that reason, EY has conducted a survey with the help and contribution of the association regarding the digitalization automation in Treasury. It was conducted this year. It was done anonymously. It was done through the association. It involved 15 questions relating to the priorities that you have for the next 12 months, the perception of technology, the aspirations we have for technology, where do we stand in terms of knowing the 4.0 technologies, TMS implementation, and smaller size technological solutions implementation. Very quickly, I would say that around 80% of the respondents are treasury people, pure treasury, I mean. And 40% carry more than 10 years of experience in the response, and 33% 5 to 10 years. We have, by industry analysis, it is very diverse, and also by revenue, we have all types of companies, and 82% of the responses came from Greece. Regarding the sample, 87% have a distinct treasury function. 55% have the ability to make their own decision-making decisions relating to technology. We see that there are smaller and bigger treasuries, but almost half of them have 1 to 5 people. And like 54% of the respondents provide treasury services to other group companies as well. Okay, so now I would call Vasilis Mitropoulos, who was in charge of conducting the survey, to present the detailed results.
Good morning also from my side. Here are a summary of the findings related to the survey. We can see that 50%, one of two of the respondents, intend to review the efficiency of the treasury function in the next year. Regarding the perceptions regarding technology, we see that 6 out of 10 identify that there are opportunities for gaining competitive advantage by investing in technology, but we see that for 2 out of 3, cost still remains a problem. Regarding the selection, as we will see later, 56% of the participants would opt for a selection of a TMS solution, but 1 out of 2 say that they are not able to calculate the return of investment from investing in technology. And also regarding the goals that they want to achieve, 8 out of 10 would like to get rid of the manual processes that burden the daily operations of their treasury function, and 59% expect that it will help improve the internal control framework. Moving now in more detail regarding the priorities for the next year. As we said, 1 out of 2 would like to revisit the existing processes and strategies in order to make their treasury function more efficient. And 1 out of 3 would like also to review and improve their processes in the context of technology. And also 1 out of 3 would like perhaps in the next year to make a transition to a software solution like a TMS or an ERP or for the finance function. Also 27% said that they would prefer to implement a more specialized solution to improve an individual, a specific treasury process within their department. Regarding the perception towards technology, 90% of the participants see technology as an opportunity and as a source for competitive advantage, but 63% say that they have already embedded that in their strategy and they are working on it, but 3 out of 10 say despite the fact that they know that it is a source of a competitive advantage, so far they have not prioritized investing in technology. In a more specific question relating to the managing of interest rates, inflations, and the volatility in the financial markets and how they feel that technology will help them, 64% say that technology would rather help them or will help them greatly. Only 2% say that they have already implemented such technologies and they are now realizing the benefits. And one out of five say that they do not have an overview of these technologies and thus they are not in the positions to know their practical benefits. Regarding their aspirations, the first question related to the goals that they would like to meet by implementing technologies. 8 out of 10 would aim at automating, as we said, their manual processes, and 6 out of 10 would like to decrease the operational risk, human errors, and improve the internal control framework. Regarding the opportunities that technology brings in outsourcing various treasury processes, 1 out of 2, around 1 out of 2, 46%, say that they do not consider currently outsourcing any treasury activities. Those who would think to do the most, I would say, popular areas are payments and bank statement processing, the management of treasury-related IT processes, perhaps cash flow management and cash flow planning, and to a smaller degree, reporting and risk management processes. In the next question, we asked from the participants to assess the current level of automation in various processes in their treasury function where applicable, and also to say what is their plans regarding automation. We can see that in most cases, in most areas, the departments, the processes are mostly manual or partially automated, I think to a degree around 70 to 80%. Areas that are, I would say, mostly, I could say, automated, seems to be payments and the bank statements processing, where 40% of the participants say that these processes are mostly automated or fully automated, and the treasury-related IT processes. Regarding their planned strategy, we see that there is the intention to move to a more automated model. Again, payments is for the 92% of the participants expect to be mostly automated or fully automated. Also, treasury-related IT processes, I think it's 88%, and also the reporting again is very high in the agenda. Regarding the obstacles coming from implementations that stop implementations of new technologies, we see again that, as we said, that 2 out of 3 believe that the cost of implementation are the largest obstacle for such implementations. And then we have 31%, they think that they cannot find a suitable provider, and then 27% say that they do not have enough information about this technology and their possibilities. In a related question regarding the costs, we asked the participants to tell us if they can calculate the return of investment in technology solution, and thus obtain the financial resources needed and the support from the top management. 48%, 1 out of 2, say that it's very difficult to to proceed with these calculations due to the indirect financial benefits that this implementation have. 40% 4 out of 10 say that they have not dealt with such calculations, and 9% say that they can proceed with these calculations with no major difficulty. Regarding Treasury 4.0, we asked the participant about their familiarity about the meaning of APIs, robotic process automation, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and advanced data analytics, and if they know what possibilities, what opportunities their use brings. Around, I would say, 6 to 7% of the participants said that they know their meaning, they know their possibilities of use. When we ask them what are their plans regarding the use of these technologies or they are currently using, regarding APIs and advanced analytics, we see that around 6 out of 10, they are planning to use these technologies or they are currently using it. Regarding robotic process automation, only 36% is going to use them or is already using them, and advanced analytics, and artificial intelligence and machine learning, only 1 out of 4 say that it's embedded in their strategy or they are already using it. We add here also a question regarding blockchain, and only around 1 out of 10 said that they are currently using this technology or they are planning to using. Regarding the selection of a TMS system or the integration of a smaller technology in the Treasury Department, as we saw, 56% said they would opt for the implementation of a Treasury management system, and 44% of the participants would prefer the application and integration of a smaller technology solution. Those who would choose to integrate a smaller technology solution would do that in order to improve a specific treasury process within the department, 53%, and 47% of the participants said that they would like to consolidate financial data and build real-time visualizations with the use of business intelligence tools. Sorry? Okay. And I thought there was one more slide. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so just to close this, from our side, how can EY help you? What we offer is that what we can do and how we approach projects is that we have a holistic approach and we have a multidisciplinary set of skills in our teams. So either for treasury operating model, for managing FX volatility, implementation of TMS, digital transformation, etc., policies, processes, compliance, regulatory, ESG. There is an individual team, but there is a combined EY team working on that area. So we're working as one team throughout, and this is how we approach our engagement. I think this is important to be able to combine business, regulatory, and technology knowledge. A brief presentation of ourselves. We are market leader in Greece. We have around 2,300 people in Greece, almost 100 years. And we have consulting, strategy, and transactions, tax and legal and assurance services. And what we believe is a differentiator is that there is a very deep treasury management industry practice, as I explained, with people several skills, from quant people for the most valuation-related stuff to people reading policies, technology, etc. One business and technology team, very big alliances throughout, and support from a global network. So thank you very much for your patience. That's all from us. So could you provide some examples of the actions of Enterprise Greece abroad in attracting services in Greece?
Examples of actions of Enterprise Greece abroad. we have held some activities abroad. We've held the investment seminars. The most recent one has been in Paris. I think it was about a couple of years ago. In that case, we cooperated with a small consulting company who briefed the people that attended the seminar. They invited people within the GPS and DCC function from major corporates throughout Europe. So it was an audience of about 25 people attending that event. That is one example I can remember from the recent past. Myself, I've been within the particular department for the last year or so, but I just happened to attend the specific event, stepping in the shoes of a colleague who just couldn't attend. On another end, we also participate in major exhibitions abroad within the SSE field. We attended the last Deloitte summit that took place in Lisbon, and we had contacts there with companies interested to establish SSE operations. But what I would like to point out, our major part of work is the requests we have, either directly from companies or from location advisory services, wishing to know more and provide more information about the market in Greece and how can a foreign corporate establish operations here. And now, in that context, when we usually start with an RFI, the provision and the exchange of emails with some basic information, later on as discussions advance and the corporate and the client is putting Athens or Thessaloniki or maybe another city in the short list, what we do is we arrange a site visit location here in the city in question. It's usually in Athens for so long, where we host the client in our premises, and we have a series of presentations by us regarding the overall environment for investments in the GBS sector. You've had a glimpse of the items that were presented before in my presentation. Of course, it's a more detailed one covering other aspects into a greater detail. And then moving on, we also invite professionals from the aspects of real estate or from the part of human resources. And also we invite people from the academia to talk about the skills. So in a nutshell, we also arrange site visits within established SSE operations in Athens, so the client can see an operating service center in Athens. So in a nutshell, what we do is the service is the first impression, is the first site visit location to understand what is happening in the market, gain a complete, thorough understanding, and that's usually doable within a day or two maximum.
Thank you. Yes, given that a good long-term cash flow is fundamentally dependent on a good sales budget, can AI increase the reliability of the latter and thus assist the former? I think this is a major issue that I've been discussing with one of my clients recently about the need, working for a fund regarding the need of accuracy in the decimal piece in forecast for 2 years after today. So there is a tremendous pressure in accurate forecasting, and definitely this is not just a matter of technology, but a matter of process as well. So this requires a very good review and redesign, if needed, of the budgeting and financial planning process. Through also assessing how it's done now, the timing that is done, the assumptions that are being taken into consideration. But if this is managed with a very powerful tool, where you can have many scenarios, maybe thousands of scenarios, different assumptions that can be incorporated and very quickly produce results and produce sensitivities. And so you can see, based on very, very small changes, how this would impact the budget. It would definitely be an improvement in the forecasting. I'm totally into that. Okay, thank you all.